A reading from the letter of Paul to the Romans. Brothers and sisters, through one man sin entered the world, and through sin death. And thus death came to all men, inasmuch as all sinned. For up to the time of the law, sin was in the world, though sin is not accounted when there is no law. But death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over those who did not sin, after the pattern of the trespass of Adam, who is the type of the one who was to come. But the gift is not like the transgression. For if by the transgression of the one, the many died, how much more did the grace of God and the gracious gift of the one man, Jesus Christ, overflow for the many? And the gift is not like the result of the one who sinned. For after one sin, there was the judgment that brought condemnation. But the gift, after many transgressions, brought acquittal. For if, by the transgression of the one, death came to reign through that one, how much more will those who receive the abundance of grace and of the gift of justification come to reign in life through the one Jesus Christ? In conclusion, just as through one transgression condemnation came upon all, so through one righteous act acquittal and life came to all. For just as through the disobedience of the one man the many were made sinners, so through the obedience of the one the many will be made righteous. The word of the Lord.
Our second reading on this first Sunday of Lent comes from the letter of Paul to the Romans. This adds a certain note of hope to the first reading. In the first reading, we see the entrance of sin in the world through the misuse of freedom, the temptation based on a lie, which was absorbed or responded to by our first parents through a misuse of freedom led to destruction. And that is affirmed by St. Paul. St. Paul says, sin and death entered the world. Sin and death have been affecting all generations because of the disobedience of what we call Adam, the first person, the first creature. But of course, Adam here does not only mean the one person who is considered the first parent, but he is what in scriptures is regarded as corporate personality. The whole of humanity is Adam. And through the disobedience of that one man, all of us, the whole of humanity, we have been born, all of us have been born into a situation of brokenness and sinfulness. Even before we make our own personal sins, even before we commit our own personal sins, by the very fact that we are born into this world, part of humanity, we already inherit the brokenness, the sin of Adam. Now, that is an affirmation and even an extension of the first reading. But St. Paul adds a note of hope, a note of optimism. The reality of our lives is not only determined by the disobedience of Adam. There is a new Adam, someone greater than the first Adam, who will come to give us something greater than what the first Adam had given us. The first Adam had generated a whole generation of brokenness, sin, and death. But the new Adam, through justice, through graciousness, now offers to us acquittal. If disobedience was the way of the first Adam, obedience is the way of the new Adam. And who is this new Adam? Jesus Christ. Through Jesus Christ, we experience God's mercy. Through Jesus Christ, sin and death have been overcome. And so God has taken us out of the regime of sin through the obedience of Jesus. We now are experiencing the offer of grace, the offer of justice, the offer of new life in God through Jesus Christ. So, we have here a reason for rejoicing. While temptations are real, temptations that might lead us to disobedience, the way our first parents fell, we have a greater force, the force of Jesus' obedience to God, His justice and righteousness. This Spirit of Jesus is at work in our world. So, dear brothers and sisters, I know we are all aware. We see the signs of disobedience and destruction all over. But please, like St. Paul, I'm appealing to you. Open your eyes also to the signs of hope and grace won for us by Jesus. St. Paul stresses the fact that the disobedience of the first Adam and the obedience of the second Adam or the new Adam are not on equal footing. Please, evil and goodness are not on, they do not have the same weight. Goodness is weightier. Goodness, the triumph of Jesus is more powerful than sin. We should believe in that. Otherwise, we will be desperate people. And so St. Paul will also remind us in the letter to the Romans, you can conquer evil with good. Because that was how Jesus did it. Yes, there is evil in the world. We have inherited evil. But there is also inherited goodness. It is offered to us. Make good triumph over evil.